This is my 2004 Yamaha SUV Waverunner with a 2007 Yamaha Fxho 4-stroke conversion setup in it. Selling this on the Honolulu Craigslist. I think I've got it up on Boat Trader right now and Facebook Marketplace. It's also on a 100% custom aluminum trailer. Looks like my registration's expired on the trailer. It is registered here in Hawaii. Quality of the welds, pretty unbeatable. All the lights work. Heavy duty axle. Tires are in good shape. No checking or cracks. Bunk boards are in excellent shape. Good carpeting, solid boards. A little bit of dust on the trailer, but that's about it. Also put this articulating arm on here for deeper water launches. The way this arm works is you've got this pin right here. This hole in the bottom here sets up onto there, and then you just safety wrap it around for the ride. When you get to where you're going, disconnect your trailer, put down the tongue, and of course pin it. Gives you an extra 6.5 feet or so for launching. The Waverunner itself is registered until April 21. Same with the trailer. I ain't going to show you the VIN number, but it does have a full VIN plate from the state of Hawaii. So now for the specifics of the ski. First I'm going to try to go over the whole hull in detail. Show you every flaw that I can pick out. There's this really light spider cracking here. Very light. It's just surface cracking. Very light through this area. And that is it on this nose. It's a little bit of dirt here in the sticker. Some super light scratching that'll buff out. This is gum, like sticky stuff up here. I don't even know if you can see that in the video. A little vertical scratch on the sticker. This is where I got a little bit too aggressive with cleaner one time, a buffer, and ended up scraping through, burning through the sticker. A little light scratching there. Just sticker goop that can come off nice and easy. The hood is in perfect condition. Maybe some light buffable scratching, hard to see. And it needs a bath. There's a lot of water spotting on it right now from the last time I washed it. I didn't dry it properly, so it got a little bit of hard water deposits on there I gotta take off. Good mirrors. The seats are in perfect condition. These are the stock seats. It's just a little white goop. There's no tears, no rips, no fatigue, no what do you call it? No thinning of the material, which is common on some skis. This ski does have reverse, of course. We'll go over the gauge cluster later. Back to the front. Oh, a little bit of sticker rub right here. That's just sticker rub. There is no gouging into the hull on those. This is custom. This is for the 2007 Yamaha Fxho. It goes with the gauge cluster normally. So when I had this converted over to 4-stroke, the specialist doing the conversion custom fabbed this plate here and mounted the RPM, speedometer, voltage, mode reset buttons that normally come up here. You just mount them into this plate along with the bilge, the powered bilge selector. So you can turn it off all the way, on, completely on, like all the time, and then just when it needs it, when it gets water in the hull. Let's see. This lighter duty rod holder here, this one I use for sabiki only. It's I wouldn't use that for heavy trolling. If I was going to put heavy trolling on here, I'd figure out a way to mount it to the handlebars instead as a nice stable platform. I mean, this is solid fiberglass, but I just don't trust you know, big game gear and stuff on the side of my hull like that. I don't want to lose the big rods and reels. Oh, these are custom from Yamaha Fxho Cruiser. So these are just the tie down cleats. So those are all 3M 5200 in place. I have a video on how those were put in. Some sticker rub here, but no scratches. Here's some light scratches here, and those should buff out as well. Super small light scratches here and here. A lot of what you're going to see in here is the goop, the 3M 5200 that I use. This is the VHF antenna wire. Tapped a small hole and then just 5200'd that into place there. It's actually the Home Depot version of marine adhesive. I keep saying 5200, but just wanted to make sure all my little tiny pinholes were watertight, including those up there up top. This is where the kind of the rear oh shit handle normally would be on this ski. Some light sticker rubs here. Sticker. Some light scratching. This is just goop right here. That'll come off. I got some fish measurements there. What else? Super light scratching throughout this area, but generally it's shiny. This is just dirt. This will clean out. Let's see. I'll go over the rack later and how it mounts. This is just goop. That'll come off. Some super light chips right there. Let's see. You know, standard dock ration stuff on some of the rub rail. But you cannot buy these rub rails anymore. They don't exist. So you can only get them off of like parted out skis and stuff. Tiny little chip right there. This stuff will clean up. Everything's still nice and shiny back here. I ended up remounting this plate. I did some marine adhesive around this area. I'll explain why I did that in a little bit. I wanted to try to waterproof one of these wing well compartments, and I ended up putting a non-stainless steel washer right there, so you can see the results of that. That's no good. So those either need to be replaced or just got rid of entirely. I didn't like putting this straight to the VIN plate because it'll crack it. Let's see, what else? The rear of the ski, these are the ports that the footwells drain out of. This is just a ball lock system, so when this gets water in it, it comes back to here, of course, and then it just drains out. These are the holes that it drains out. These are made of a fiberglass plasticky material that tends to powderize as it ages, so I just coated it with some marine adhesive and just did a little quick coating because I don't want those ever going bad back there. They might be hard to replace. That's why they're so gooped up though. And at the same time, I just resealed the inside as well. This is just white sticky stuff on there. All light sticker scratches. These are all in really good shape. Some very light scratches in here though. A lot of this is buff out. Sticker wrinkle. Sticker dings. Another one of these. Let's see. This is just dirt, sticky gook down in here. That'll all clean out. This will clean out. It's not a chip. What else? What else? What else? Super light scratches through here, various areas. It's not bad though. Very, very minimal. And then for the underside, again, this is the marine adhesive. I removed this, filled in the holes that the bolts go through here in an attempt to try to completely waterproof this area. So what I thought I was doing is that I could seal up everything and then use this for a fish hold, for a cooler basically, and that ended up not working. These do leak when you fill this whole area up with water. It will leak into the hull from right along that seam right there, so a person would have to seal up the entire seam around there, and then you would be watertight in this area. So that's what that's all about right there. I was just attempting to make it watertight. The other compartment is actually the one that I started in. I started over here later and found out that it wasn't going to work very well, so I just quit. Otherwise, you seal up this whole thing too. And that other plate. This is your visual inspection plate to access your sponsons. And then this area down in here accesses the hose that feeds this. So you have a metric ton of storage in there. I've got my, let's see how tall this guy is. This is a 5-foot high post for night fishing. And all I do is end up, sorry, it is actually on the other side right here. I've got my spear gun mounted right now. There we go. I just stick this right here, and then I zip tie 3 zip ties along that post, that aluminum post there on the cooler rack. And I've got my night fishing set up. I do have a suction cup mounted front nav light as well. Mine broke off here. I didn't have it mounted very well. Powered bilge relief right here. I chose to put it in the rear of the footwell because if the bilge was to ever kick on for some reason, if I had mounted it here where some people do, you would never actually know that your bilge is going off and that you're taking on water. So I mounted it here so that the water would eject into this footwell. And of course it's just going to go out the ball lock anyway. And I would know that I have a water leak. I can shut down and figure out where the leak is at and hopefully solve it. Never had that happen yet, but this is where the Yamaha visibility spout normally connects in here. Completely cosmetic. All it does is soaks down everybody around you with salt water and sprays the bottom of your cooler. So remove that. Got that out of play, very common practice. Let's see. What else? Jet pump is in great shape. There's a still picture that I can send. Sorry. It shows the wear ring clearance is really good in this one. It's very, very tight clearance. I don't have any signs of rusting back here at all. No pitting, no saltwater buildup residue anyway. Let's see, some light chips here and there. A lot of the white that you see is going to be the marine adhesive though. The transducer got mounted right here, so it's halfway below the water line and halfway above the water line. It works very effectively at speed for being able to see fish and definitely see water depth, of course. Let's see, again, just that white goop up in there. I just tried to really make sure I had every drop of water that I could keep out of this ski out of it. I didn't want to have to deal with saltwater intrusion ever. So I keep a zip tie up in here folded over to keep the mud daubers and spiders and stuff like that out. And then when I fire up, I just simply pull it out, make sure it's free and clear, and I'm ready to go. That's your pisser for making sure that you're cooling properly. I thought there was a couple scrapes under here. All right, right there, the little light blue, that is a small scrape. There you go. Maybe a light one back there midway. Super light abrasions or rubbing anyway right there. The rest looks really clean. Trailer is immaculate. Rub rail has some dings. Definitely for the use of the ski and having been in the Gulf of Mexico and all that, it's in awfully good shape. Here's a few dings anyway. Teeny tiny one here. I mean, just super light surface abrasions here. These should buff out. They turn that lighter blue color when they're buffable, and then when you get a little deeper like this one, you'll see the actual gel coat is chipped a little bit right there. So this is just all super light abrasion. I can't remember where this one came from, to be honest. I think it might have been due to some trailering. I can't remember. And then a very light, long scratch there. There's a little chip. That's about it. Let me open up the hatch on here. Actually, I forgot. Here's the other storage side. So inside here, I usually keep one of these Marine Igloo coolers. It's a 25 quart. I think it's 25 quart. These are $19.99 at Walmart. You look them up. And it's the best cooler for us. Slap it in here. You can make this into your live well, whatever you want to use, and you have to slide it forward to get your clearance from the ceiling in here. But when you do, it closes down absolutely perfectly on top of it. So there's no way for this top to open at all. So it won't close if you have it back there. But you know, take out your bait or your sandwiches or whatever you're going to take out, slide it forward, and you're good to go. So that's that. Under this seat, normally in an SUV, this is stock. This is your freshwater flush adapter here. Normally here you're going to have your battery in an SUV. So my conversion guy at WFO Performance in Houston, Texas, chose to put the battery underneath this where most skis have their batteries, and then I could repurpose this for my fixed mount Marine VHF radio, which that I have it kind of jury rigged here onto an old fishing line thing, but it works extremely well, and just store it out of the way there when I'm underway. So you do have your fire extinguisher required by law, a couple extra tools in case you need to get something. There's a little stopper that I put right there. Pull this out, and you have access to your entire underside. So there's where your two batteries go down the bottom. It has all the necessary cabling to be able to reach there. There's your powered bilge pump, of which of course the exit is right here, and the controls are right there on that custom slab up there. See, I can't really see what I'm pointing at, but I know the the muffler is down in that area, and then your water box, etc. There's your 2007 Fxho electronics box right here, mounted to the mid wall. Let me pause this and open the front. And then on the front side, we've got our 2007 Yamaha Fxho cruiser motor. This is the gauge cluster for this particular unit. It does have just a fragment over 200 hours. I believe it should have like 202 hours maybe on it right now. Between 200 and 203 anyway. I don't have the battery connected right now to actually fire it up and check that as we speak. Let's see. So this is all 2007 Fxho. The fuel tank, the fuel sending unit, the exhaust, the intake, the oil. Basically, it's the long block. It goes all the way through, and then the jet pump is all Fxho except for the reverse bucket. This is stock SUV. This is the way it has to be on this particular conversion. And I do have a Solus Dynafly stainless steel prop in there as well. That is what the conversion guru selected on this one for max performance. And then I also do have the top loader intake, which gives it a lot better performance as far as hole shot and spreading the water load evenly across that propeller versus just loading the bottom side of it and getting a little less oomph. A little funky stuff underneath. Dirt. Okay. Not a lot that I can show you. Let's see. You can see it. It's not a lot of light, unfortunately. Look at this. Let's see. I think I'm just staring into the dark, sorry. There we go. Okay. Just to the left of center, you can see a stainless steel L-shaped bracket, and there's a motor mount sitting on it. So that's the concept for the way these get mounted in this conversion. You've got about a 23-inch long stainless steel 3/16 inch thick L bracket, and then that gets hard bolted into the old Yamaha SUV 2-stroke motor mount locations, and then the new motor mount locations for this particular motor get hard bolted to that rail, so it ensures it's completely stable in there because you are reusing the old motor mounts. This is just a cover for the electronics cover. This is stock for the SUV, except for this portion right here, which I mounted in there. It's missing one of the units. This was a cigarette lighter adapter and a USB cell phone charger. I had that here so I could actually, I was going to tap it up so I could have my cell phone constantly on charge, or my GoPro or something inside here. This ended up failing on me, this USB, so I was thinking about replacing that with more of a marine version than the cheap version that I had bought previously. So very easy to replace on that, and if not, you just have this silly little hole right there. I just put duct tape on the back of it to make it watertight for now. As with most of my videos, they're getting very long-winded, so I'll try to make this a little quicker. So there's the Fxho gauge cluster. This thing is huge compared to the stock SUV one, so this does have to get chopped up and whacked up a little bit. This is all marine adhesive in there to make sure that it is watertight at the end of the day. However, the back side of this is where that sucker's got to go in, so you have to carve out quite a large hole in this fiberglass wall. It's like a bowed and bent normally fiberglass wall in the SUV. So this gets hacked up all the way down to there. So I just went ahead and re-fiberglassed in that area back in there, and then figured someday I'd get around to sanding it and then spray paint it with like a refrigerator spray paint, one of those epoxy refrigerator thing spray paints. Anyway, so you have your marine power center right here. I've got my depth, my fish finder's top right, marine VHF radio, bilge pump, and on the left side the remaining electronics selected in there. We've got our marine wire here labeled out, fish finder, bilge pump, etc., all labeled all the way through the back of the ski, just in case you need to trace something down. However, this is brand new marine grade 12 AWG 2-conductor marine wire. So that stuff, you know, I did so many heat shrinks on that stuff throughout the whole thing, and I'm heat shrinked and soldered all the way up into here, so it's not gonna be a problem. This does not go with the ski. Absolutely under no circumstances is this going with the ski, because after I sell this and move back to the mainland, I will be building another one of these SUVs, and I have no intention of never having one of these. So this is brand new, and this is coming with me. So it's just got 2 screws that are holding it into this plate cover. It'll be removed from the game entirely. However, this bad boy is brand new as well. So this marine cooler is hard bolted through a stock hole that is in the bottom of this thing for drainage. So it's bolted through there. It's rigged up very well and very sturdy. And then this Optima battery, I just bought this thing maybe 3 months ago. I don't think it's been 4 yet. It happened to fit in there perfectly. There's no way this sucker is going anywhere. And then slap on this top, holds a couple more tools, a couple extra fuses if you need them, and as long as you put in any of these fishing line spools, it happens to mate up absolutely perfectly here. You got your little dive flag there if you want to do some free diving off of here, and it closes perfectly, so there's no chance laterally forward, up and down, or left to right. This thing, it just can't travel in there, so it's super secure in there. And then you just have a metric ton of room in here for everything else. I mean, I've got my dive fins in there. I've got my dive mask. A lot of this stuff is not going with it. That's my flare gun. I mean, put all your ropes up in there, just random crap, because there's just so much storage on this ski. I think down to the last thing. Oh, yeah, last two things. So the Lowrance, you'll see in the static photos that I'm going to provide you with, the still photos. This thing configures and adjusts every way you can imagine. So it's got this ball mount, so it's articulating, so it can go up all the way up to here and extend upwards and kind of forward. It can lay flat up here, it can be down here. I mean, this whole thing turns this way, and the articulating arm lets it bend anywhere you want. So this is not its resting location. I just want to show you how low it goes, and then you'll see in some of the photos it goes basically straight vertical. Anyway, it's severely adjustable, and this ball mount here is hard mounted to the underside handlebars with stainless steel U-bolt. I have a video on how I did that as well, so I can show you exactly what's underneath there. There's no guesswork. It's super, I mean, it's done perfectly. These wires run properly through the same channels that your rest of your cables go through, so they can't get chafed. Let's see, you've got your trim, start stop lanyard area. Again, you've got your reverse, your throttle, and a little fishing line cutter right here that I bought at a trade show that I really liked. So easy to cut any kind of line with that thing. For the actual rack, it's custom made by Aluminum Outfitters in Humble, Humble, Texas. You can look them up on YouTube. Excuse me, on Facebook. They've got their website up there. Trey is the guy who welded this custom job up here. It perfectly and custom holds this 70 or 75 quart Marine Coleman cooler. What I want to tell you about this, it's got 3 mounting points. So you got your hard bolted here, your hard bolted here, and then you're hard bolted to the stock Yamaha Waverunner towing area. This is where you would tow a wakeboard or a tube or something like that. This is the ultimate place to mount on here, and you can do pull-ups on here. There's no way this thing can let loose. So it's super stable. We've got our stainless steel rod holders for our spread. Threw an extra one down there just for accessories. Okay, real quick on the mechanical side of it, it does have a Canon oil filter in here, and what else? Oh, and it's Mobil 1 synthetic oil that I put in this one here. For a local buyer, I will be happy to run through a oil change on this with you. We'll go ahead and grab a filter and the oil, and I'll do the first change so you can see exactly how this is done on here. Not a problem. As far as underside of here, these just slide. This cover comes off. So you've got your air intake side over here. I'll also be happy to run through a spark plug change if you want. This does not need new spark plugs right now, but it's so easy, so we can run through a plug change on this. And gives us a little bit more room, but you can see all my worm clamps, like my stainless steel worm clamps. Everything is shiny and new. You can see a little bit of goop on this thing down here. That is anti-corrosion spray. I use PB Blaster anti-corrosion spray. Normally on these skis for saltwater ones, you'll see a lot of corrosion sitting up in these pockets here. These will be all rusted to hell. These will be all rusted to hell. This whole area, everything will be all corroded up. So I really take pride in my skis and have this one nice and shiny still. Also, the entire motor before it went in has all stainless steel hardware. All the worm clamps on the bottom side of this motor that you can't access, those have been replaced with stainless steel. I don't know what I just said there, but anyway, they've all been replaced with stainless steel worm clamps versus the Yamaha stock. They use a black spring clip, and they all corrode very badly, and you can't get at the underside to even know if your hoses are about to blow off or not. These are all taken care of. It's all stainless steel all the way through. And after I'm done riding, I always fill the bottom of my hull up with water until I get to about the middle of the mid shaft. I don't know how familiar, anyway, the middle of the spinny part on the back of the motor there, That's how high I fill it with fresh water, and then I drain it out, I vacuum it out, and then I let the seats sit off of it in the garage until it's next used to make sure everything dries up nicely. So, well taken care of. Again, it's an 04 SUV. That's the last year they made the SUV. They only made 7,000 of these across the nation, or so, a little over across the US anyway. And they're just getting hard to find, and you'll never find one here in the islands with a 4-stroke conversion, especially with an Fxho in it, probably ever again. So give me a call, Facebook me. You can text me 713-444-6511. So the last little quick tidbit here before I close off this 32-minute video, sheesh, I get long-winded, is what goes into one of these is a lot of work. You have to find a beautiful SUV, first of all, which is hard to find one in good shape. Then you've got to find a good, solid VX110 or Fxho type donor. You have to have the exhaust has to be custom fabricated for you, aluminum, TIG welding. There's just a metric buttload of time that goes into putting this thing together. Just at the shop alone, it's 50 hours worth of labor. And then you've got your $1,500 to $2,000 Yamaha SUV. You've got your $3,000 to $3,500 Fxho. You got $3,000 plus in custom work. You've got a $2,000 custom aluminum trailer, another $400 tongue extension on here. These things alone are $100 and some bucks. And yeah, like I said, if you want one that's water worthy and safe on the ocean, this is the one. So hope to hear from you.